health outcomes. Health communication activities can vary widely depending on the objectives, audience and communication channels. SBCC for Health and Research-based consultative process that uses communication to promote and facilitate behavior change and support the necessary social change for the purpose of improving health outcomes. To achieve social and behavior change, SBCC is driven by past evidence of disease and audience perspective and need. SBCC is guided by a complete environmental theory that incorporates both individual level change and change at broader ecological and structural levels. Before I am handing over the mic to the dignitaries and speakers, I would like to share a few words about the organization Manbhu Ananda Ashram Nityananda Trust or MANT. We describe ourselves as a non-profit, non-racial, non-political, non-religious development organization. MANT is working since 1959-60 in the field of basic education, health improvement, livelihood development, and community media targeted to improve the human suffering of the marginalized section of the contemporary society and empower them to strive for their own development in 19 districts of West Bengal and 2 districts of Nagaland. In the community media sector, I am more than elated to state that we are running the first and only community radio station of the state in the district of Purulia, which is again playing a vital role in the SBCC sector. Along with that, we have also started the community video platform there. Wish you all the very best and my sincere thanks to you all that attending the seminar and making it a great success. Thank you.
PC and Capacity Strengthening Advisor, Johns Hopkins Center for Communication Program, India, for a keynote address.
It's a lovely morning. People are feeling a little low energy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, very much for those introductory remarks. And I want to thank MANT for inviting us here. My colleague Sanjita and I are delighted to be here with all of you to share some thoughts. And I also want to offer my respect to the dignitaries here who are here to share their own perspectives, and I'm happy to share the stage with them. This is my first time in Kolkata. I've been in India for many years and it's an additional delight for me to be here in Kolkata. I've never been here before. So I think seeing this city is an unusual perspective to Kolkata, but I'm very, very happy to be here. There's a lot I'm going to say during the presentation coming up a little bit later. So I will keep my remarks here very brief. And spending time on communication and why it's critically important. First of all, to devote 2 days to talk about social and behavior change communication itself shows the importance being placed on it. That's a very heartwarming thought. Because oftentimes what happens is people talk about technical health issues and the communication piece will be something small at the very end, right? So here, we're here because we have placed an importance on the issue of communication as a big piece in making better health for our country. So how can we think about this? And maybe I should take this time to say that when I'm making my presentations here, what we've come to share today is really not to teach anyone anything, because there's a lot of information, experience and knowledge in this room. You are all working in the field, you are working in your areas, you know what you're doing. This is merely to present some thoughts, to stir the glass, to try and create some new ways of thinking or provoking your thinking in new ways, to see if there may be a better way to do things. So not to question what you're already doing, but to ask you, if you feel like questioning yourself, are there some new interesting perspectives we can take a look at? The other thing I want to mention is that all of us are invested in this fight. How many people in this room know somebody who has suffered from cancer or is suffering from cancer, or perhaps yourself is suffering from cancer? Just put up your hand. How many people know someone? I think some people are shy because there's probably more hands in this room than have been bold enough to put up their hands. But it is something that has affected all of us in one way or the other. I have personally been affected by it, and I'm sure there are many others who have stories who can share. Now, cancer, TB, these are things which have a huge behavioral aspect to it. There is medical treatment, but there's behaviors that can reduce the risk of contracting these diseases. Today we're here to talk about communication as one of the tools because of that aspect. If we only had medical treatment and no communication or social change, it would be a much graver disease and will get only more grave. So how can we think about preventive behaviors? How can we reduce the number of people who need to get treatment? How can we reduce the number of people dying from a disease by diagnosing it earlier? So there's so many aspects of communication that come into how we manage health issues, right? So that is the piece that I'm really going to try and address today. Something like cancer or TB doesn't care about class or education or caste or where you're from or anything. It can affect just anybody at any level or any stage. So the point here is how can we, in each of these different audiences, try and look at communication as a tool, as an important weapon which we can use to address these really difficult challenges that we face. So that is sort of the broad idea of what I want to talk about today, and I'm just introducing that. I will share a few concepts, provoke your thinking, give you a couple of suggestions, and maybe have some time for question and answers if the time permits. And we hope to have a few informal conversations as well. So I'm very excited about this day, and I'm looking forward to sharing some ideas with you. And thank you for having me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request the guest of honor, Professor Vinod Pavarala, UNESCO Chair for Community Media, University of Hyderabad, to address the audience.
Good morning. Co-panelists in this inaugural session, all the participants. Like it has been said, many of you working at the grassroots on many of these issues. I'm grateful to the organizers for having me here for this seminar. I'm not especially an expert on health communication in particular. I think there are others more qualified to talk to you about it, share their perspectives and experiences. I'm here because partly the organizers have felt to link issues related to SBCC with community media. And so my own entry to social and behavior change communication is through my perspective of new modes of talking about social change, more recent ways of talking about communication for social change, and the role that community media can play in it. And I'll share some of that in some more detail tomorrow at a session. But as many of you know, the media-centric communication strategies for development, for social change, for a long time, in India at least, we can think of the immediate period after independence for about 30-40 years, have been very hierarchical kind of communication, top-down, expert-driven, where scientists, the medical fraternity, and agricultural experts and others who are supposedly the repositories of all knowledge will use media channels to disseminate. And we have seen a lot of examples and models of that since independence. And in the last 15-20 years or so, there's been a lot of criticism, critique of that approach, how that approach has treated people at the grassroots, the communities, as only as passive receivers of information, and not giving them enough credit for having knowledge of their own, experiences of their own, just by living their own lives, experiencing things. So more participatory modes of communication that are now being advocated and used by a lot of agencies across the world emphasize not just dissemination of information, but how communication can be used to initiate processes of dialogue and debate among communities, with communities, based on principles of respect, equality, tolerance, social justice, and active participation of all stakeholders. And community media is built on such principles, that these are media tools accessed by citizens, by communities, and people are engaged with this media not just as passive receivers, but as active producers of content, using their own knowledge, their own experiences to do media of their own. And Mahant has experience of doing that in Purulia with their community radio station, but we have many other such examples, some of which we'll share tomorrow through case studies and experiences. There is community radio, obviously, which is now picked up steam in the country. There are over 200 community radio stations across the country today. But there are also communities, many of whom are non-literate, poor communities in deprived areas, who are using video, who are using mobile phones to tell their own stories through their own voices. And issues related to health, of well-being, of the issues related to the body, things related to gender, reproductive health, and so on, are issues that are being taken up by many of these community media. And I'll share some of that in a little more detail tomorrow at my own session, but there are other colleagues coming tomorrow who will share case studies of community media in the process of social change. So I'll stop here with those remarks, and I'm looking forward to listening to the other experts and specialists today, both at the inaugural and later in the sessions, and looking forward to interacting with all of you. Thanks again for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Sanjay Kapoor, Managing Director, John Snow International India, to address the audience.
Specialist per se, but I, being a public health person for the last 25 years in India, I have done fair amount of work in different areas of health, including on tuberculosis, and I have some experiences which I would like to share when I speak in the afternoon. But just adding on to what the previous colleague said on the role of communication, I think it is a no-brainer that communication is the centerpiece for understanding any health problem or finding an effective solution to it. But yet we are not able to sort of find real solutions which are sustainable, because I think one of the main reasons is that we are not really addressing communications as an inherent and as a scientific issue. My experience shows that communication, everyone becomes a communication expert, and then they start defining the communication needs of a particular program based on their own understanding rather than any formative research or proper scientific understanding of the socio-cultural context. Whatever we have learned in one place may be relevant to the other, but it cannot be just transposed like that. It has to be adapted, it has to be tested out in that local socio-cultural condition. Only then the communication activities are successful. Otherwise, as the previous speaker said, it is a top-down approach. There is no client-centricness there. Unless any communication program is basically centered around the primary target audience, it is not going to be successful. You may have a lot of glossy ideas, newspaper materials or TV advertisements, or for that matter even some interpersonal communication or mid-media activities. But to make them really effective for an effective behavior change, I think a lot needs to be done before we come to that level. I think this forum will give us a very good opportunity to hear different experiences from different experts from various fields today and tomorrow, and I think it will be a very good learning and a sharing exercise for all of us. I would really suggest that it becomes not a monologue but a dialogue, because otherwise, it will become very difficult, to understand that how we are sort of understanding each other and what are the issues. So I would really request the audience and the organizers to have some kind of interactive session after each session. Maybe we can cut down our talk and have a little more interaction with the audience to discuss a particular issue. We may not find the solution, but at least have some various perspectives coming out of it, rather than the speaker just speaking and So that's a suggestion which I have. I'm really thankful that MANT has organized this very important meeting on communication, and I really look forward to hearing from all of you, from all the speakers, on a very important topic on communications. I'll be here for today, not here tomorrow, but look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you, MANT, for calling me again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Shrikanta Roy, State TV Cell, Government of West Bengal, to address us.
নমস্কার, মঞ্চে উপস্থিত যারা ডিগনিটারিজ শ্রদ্ধেয় বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে এসেছেন এবং যারা শ্রোতা হিসাবে বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে ডিগনিটারিজ যারা এসেছেন, সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ আজকে এরকম একটি অনুষ্ঠান আয়োজন করার জন্য। আমাদের এই যে সেমিনার বা আজকের যে আয়োজন, এর মূল লক্ষ্য হচ্ছে আমাদের অভ্যাস পরিবর্তন, বিহেভিয়ার চেঞ্জ। একটা বড় কথাটা খুব সহজেই বলছি, কিন্তু কাজটা বড় কঠিন। একবার একটা অ্যাডাল্ট ছেলে বা মেয়ে যারাই হোক, তারা যদি একটা অভ্যস্ত যখন হয়ে যায় কোনো একটা বিহেভিয়ারে, সেটাকে চেঞ্জ করা ইট ইজ ভেরি ডিফিকাল্ট। আমরা বিভিন্ন প্রোগ্রাম, হেলথ প্রোগ্রামে কাজ করে দীর্ঘদিন আমাদের অভিজ্ঞতা এসেছি। যারা স্মোকার্স, আজকে যেমন আছে ধূমপান এবং তার সাথে টিবি। ধূমপান ক্ষতিকারক, যারা ধূমপান করেন অনেক, প্রায় সবাই জানেন ধূমপান করলে শরীরের ক্ষতি হবে, যারা করেন তারা জানেন। অধিকাংশ উচ্চশিক্ষিত ডাক্তার, ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, প্রফেসর সবাই মধ্যে অনেকেই ধূমপান করেন। তারা ওয়েল নন যে ধূমপান করলে শরীরের ক্ষতি, বিশেষ করে লাংসের ক্ষতি অবশ্যম্ভাবী। ক্যান্সার হবে কিনা সেটা পরের ব্যাপার, কিন্তু লাংসের যে ক্ষমতা সেটা যে নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে ফুসফুসের, এবং বয়সে তার ওই শ্বাসজনিত কষ্ট যে তার হবে, এটা অবধারিত। যিনি ডাক্তার তিনিও জানেন এবং অন্যান্য লোক সবাই জানেন যে ব্রঙ্কাইটিস হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা এবং তার শ্বাসকষ্ট হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা কিন্তু 100% থাকছে। আমরা এটাকে কি করে বোঝাবো? দেখবেন আপনারা চায়ের ছাঁকনিতে একটা নতুন পরিষ্কার ছাঁকনি চা ঢালছে, পরিষ্কার থাকছে, কিছুদিন ব্যবহার করার পর একটা কোটিং পড়ে যায়। এই যে কোটিং পড়ে যাচ্ছে, যে ওই চায়ের স্টেন থেকে এইরকম আমাদের ফুসফুসের যে পারমিয়েবিলিটি, যেটা অক্সিজেন গ্রহণ করি, কার্বন ডাইঅক্সাইড বের করি, যে জালিকা আছে, সেইটার উপরে কিন্তু ওই স্মোকিং এর যে কার্বন, ওইটা কিন্তু এটা ধীরে 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 লেয়ার করে এটা এমন একটা অবস্থায় করে দেবে, তার যে ভাইটাল ক্যাপাসিটি, তার যে অক্সিজেন গ্রহণ করার ক্ষমতা, সেটা কিন্তু অনেকাংশে কমে যাবে এবং অধিকাংশ ক্ষেত্রেই তাদের লাংসের বা ফুসফুসের অসুখ খুব ভোগাবে। এবং তার ভিতরে অনেকের ক্ষেত্রে ক্যান্সার বা টিবি, এটা একটা প্রিডোমিনেটিং ফ্যাক্টর। মানে 100 জন লোকের মধ্যে যদি ক্যান্সার হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা কয়েকজনের রয়েছে, তার মধ্যে যারা হয়তো তার মধ্যে অল্প মাত্রায় সম্ভাবনা রয়েছে, কিন্তু সে যদি স্মোকিং করে তাহলে সেই সম্ভাবনাটাকে বাড়িয়ে দেয়। কিন্তু স্মোক করলেই যে ক্যান্সার হবে, এটা কিন্তু অবধারিতভাবে কোথাও প্রমাণিত নয়, কিন্তু একটা পসিবিলিটিস থেকে যাচ্ছে। ঠিক একইভাবে টিবি রোগ একটা জীবাণু ঘটিত রোগ। অন্য রোগী যার ভিতরে টিবি রয়েছে, যে টিবিতে আক্রান্ত, তার কাছ থেকে কোনোভাবে জীবাণু একটা সুস্থ লোকের শরীরে এলে তবেই তার টিবি হবে। স্মোক করলে কিন্তু টিবি হবে। কিন্তু এমন 10 জন লোক টিবি রোগীর কাছে গেছে, তার মধ্যে 5 জন স্মোক করে, 5 জন করে না। এই যে সম্ভাবনাটা কিন্তু যারা স্মোক করে তাদের কাছে বেড়ে যাচ্ছে। ওরা যত তাড়াতাড়ি ইনফেকশন হবে, তার আগে এরা কিন্তু ইনফেক্টেড হওয়ার সম্ভাবনাটা বেড়ে যাচ্ছে, পসিবিলিটিস। তেমনি আপনারা জানেন ডায়াবেটিস, সেম যার ডায়াবেটিস থাকে তার যে কোনো ইনফেকশন প্রবণতাটা অনেক বেশি।